Well, we have one more unseasonably warm afternoon to push through before we start to see a few changes. Maybe a rogue shower later on this afternoon, but I think for the most part, we're looking at dry conditions. It's tomorrow we'll think a little more seriously about some isolated shower activity popping up with the sea breeze, because we're starting to see some moisture returning to our atmosphere. We've got a few things starting to push a little more of it closer and closer to us, and that is a little disturbance out in the Gulf that's going to continue to push that moisture our direction, giving us an increase in rain opportunities tomorrow, and then even more so as we head into the day on Saturday. And if some of these storms move slow enough, yeah, we could pick up a couple of pockets of some fairly heavy rainfall amounts. We'll keep an eye on that. But for the afternoon, lots of sunshine in store for us, and it's going to feel more summer-like than anything else, with highs of 98 degrees out west, 97 degrees for McAllen, 94 in Harlingen, and 93 for a high in Brownsville today. And again, maybe the rogue shower, but the chances are going to be really slim. And the humidity is still low enough that the heat stress index really isn't looking too terribly bad yet. It's elevated across much of the valley and a little bit higher for the upper valley regions. And then by tomorrow, that changes a little bit with that area of high heat stress shrinking a tad as our temperatures are going to come down actually a couple of degrees tomorrow. For tonight, we're looking at a overnight low of 71 degrees, mostly clear skies, a few more clouds as we go through the day tomorrow, with the opportunity for an isolated shower or two. Highs only in the lower end of the 90s for tomorrow instead of the mid to upper 90s that we're seeing across much of the valley today. Meanwhile, for the bay and the beach tomorrow, we'll see seas 2 to 3 feet and probably a moderate chop on the bay for the day tomorrow. Out in the tropics, Imelda is continuing to weaken, now just barely a hurricane with winds 75 miles per hour, and it will continue to weaken as it pushes further and further out into the Atlantic and the North Atlantic. Meanwhile, the National Hurricane Center says a couple of other areas of interest now, way out in the Atlantic, somewhere out in this neck of the woods, 20% chance of seeing some development. A little closer to home, though, over the Bahamas is another little disturbance that 10% chance of seeing something there, but it's going to spend a lot of time over the peninsula of Florida, and that'll really keep things from probably developing into much of anything there. For our 7 days, we're going to see the isolated showers probably more so tomorrow, increasing to scattered shower activity on Saturday. With that, the temperatures come down just a smidgen, down to where they really should be for this time of year. And if you're wondering about Friday night football, our game of the week is going to take us to Donna. And we're looking at temperatures in the 80s pretty much for the whole game. Not going to rule out a lingering shower in that neck of the woods for the kickoff, but rain chances by that time of the evening probably only about 10%.